that would detonate the explosion. They were great for defensive positions. I mean, you have a base on the beach somewhere like that. You start setting up a lot of these things. Not only is it going to maim and hurt the enemy, it's going to warn you that they're coming. This is a great piece of American history. I think it's a junior toy company. They started off stamping company. They stamped out metal parts for car companies and everything else like that.
Corey is on Chum's case for losing the display case keys. Chum's classic excuse, "I lost them," sparks frustration. The back and forth is pure pawn shop chaos. It's a relatable workplace moment. Everyone has that one coworker. This silly conflict sets the tone for an episode where the real treasure is the hilarious interactions. Rick even steps in, demanding Chum look immediately. The daily drama is more entertaining than any item coming through the door.
I have a 1977 World Series Dodgers pennant that I bought at an auction, and I noticed this signature on it.
Okay, that looks like Frank Sinatra. Oh, Blue Eyes, huh? He probably was a Dodgers fan. I knew I didn't like him.
A customer brings in a 1977 World Series Dodgers pennant signed by Frank Sinatra. He's thrilled, believing he scored big. The guys are skeptical. Sinatra famously hated signing autographs. The customer explains Sinatra attended all the games that year, making it plausible. But linking a Rat Pack icon to a baseball pennant feels odd. It's two worlds colliding. The initial excitement meets immediate doubt. A classic Pawn Stars pivot from hope to harsh reality.
For you, because I'm a San Francisco Giants fan.
Why would Frank Sinatra signed the pennant? Any idea?
The little research that I did shows that Sinatra attended all 3 games, October 1977. Someone probably went and got a pennant and asked him to sign it.
The authenticity debate heats up. Could someone have safely approached Sinatra at a game without his goons? The customer imagines Sinatra celebrating in the locker room with the team, would want a singer's signature on team memorabilia. The seller stands firm, valuing it at $1,500 retail, but asking $750. The core issue is this weird mashup of fandoms, making its true worth incredibly hard to pin down.
Frank Sinatra went back into the locker room and talked to all the guys. I mean, he was 10 times more famous than anybody on the team.
Who would even want this thing?
I know you hate to admit it, man, but there's a lot of Los Angeles Dodgers fans out there.
Rick calls in an autograph expert, Steven. The customer is hopeful for good news. This is the make or break moment for the deal. The wait builds tension. Is this a lucky find or a forgettable fake? Meanwhile, the scene shifts as a new customer arrives with something massive, creating a classic shop distraction. The expert's verdict will determine if this memory is worth serious money or just a neat story.
All right, I'm gonna go call my buddy. I'll get him right down.
I don't have any problems with having a professional look at it. My fingers are crossed that this is good news and that this is really his signature, and we can make a deal today.
A DeLorean Time Machine replica rolls in. The owner built it himself, a decade-long labor of love from a childhood dream. The visual is stunning. It's the ultimate Back to the Future fan creation. He explains all the iconic details. The Flux capacitor, time circuits, and Mr. Fusion made from a coffee grinder. The car is a prop masterpiece designed to evoke pure nostalgia and joy, not for speed. It's a moving piece of movie history.
Time Machine is the most attractive of all the movie cars. I don't think there's another vehicle on the planet for any price that gets as much attention as the DeLorean Time Machine. When people see it, they just go crazy.
Rick admits he's out of his depth inspecting this sci-fi build. The owner gives a full tour of the custom interior and exterior mods, highlighting military aircraft parts. The original DeLorean engine, however, is a notorious weak point. The contrast is hilarious. A futuristic shell powered by ancient technology. The inspection is less about mechanics and more about appreciating the insane dedication to recreating cinematic magic down to the last detail.
Well, inside the car you have everything just like it was in the film. You have the time drive switch, of course the flux capacitor, which makes time travel possible. You have the time circuits. You can punch in any date.
Let's go back to the day Rick was conceived and stop it from happening.
They take the time machine for a test drive. The owner is visibly nervous letting others drive his baby. Rick and Chum have a blast pressing all the glowing buttons, though they do nothing. The drive reveals the truth. It's hot, slow, and smells like gas. A true DeLorean experience. Yet, it's impossibly cool, turning heads and delivering pure fun. The ride confirms its value is in spectacle, not performance.
If it drives as good as it looks.
October 26, 1985, let's go. This is cooler than the Batmobile, Rick.
Why are we driving this?
All the buttons work.
You don't know what the buttons even do.
Negotiations begin. The owner cites replica sales up to $100,000. Rick counters that a working stock DeLorean is worth far less. The owner argues for the unique draw of a time machine. Rick compares it to a Chum drawn Picasso. A copy isn't the original. He offers $10,000, citing the cost to fix its mechanical flaws. The huge gap between sentimental value and practical worth becomes painfully clear. No deal is reached.
I've seen cars of this caliber sell for upwards of $100,000.
Whoa.
Okay, what do you want for it though?
How close to that number do you think you can get?
Like 10 grand?
I get $10,000 worth of time circuits in the dash.
Back to the keys dilemma. Rick presents Chum with a key finder device. Whistle, and it beeps. It's a simple tech solution to a chronic problem. Chum and Corey immediately turn it into a game of hide and seek, much to Rick's annoyance. He grumbles about the shop becoming a playground. This subplot of childish antics perfectly contrasts the high-stakes appraisals, showing the family dynamic that makes the show work.
Hold them for me all day?
Not a bad idea.
No. We have a little key finder.
Okay.
Check this out.
Oh, wow.
Gotta do is whistle and it beeps. Here, try it.
Expert Steven arrives for the Sinatra signature. He reveals Sinatra was a huge Dodgers fan, close with manager Tommy Lasorda, even singing the national anthem for them in 1977. This crucial context connects the singer to the pennant. Steven's detective work begins, analyzing ink and comparing exemplars. The authentication process is a fascinating blend of history and forensic analysis, building suspense for the seller waiting for a verdict.
We're as close as could be. So on April 7th, 1977, which is the same year as that pennant, he came out opening day, sang the national anthem for him, and they bonded ever since then.
Okay.
So tell me, what are your concerns about this piece?
Steven explains Sinatra's notorious reluctance to sign and his use of secretaries. He shows a comparable signed baseball, pointing out subtle similarities in slant and pressure. To the untrained eye, the signatures look different, but Steven sees the proof. He concludes it's authentic, though not a perfect 10 quality. The emotional roller coaster peaks. It's real. But the next question is its monetary value, which is often lower than hope.
And as I start to look at the two signatures, I start to see some pretty distinct similarities of how Frank made his autograph from one to another.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're the expert because they look absolutely nothing the same to me.
Okay, when I take a look here, first of all, the Fs are a little different.
Steven appraises the signed pennant at $600. The seller, armed with online research saying $1,200, negotiates with Rick. Rick starts at $300, trusting his expert. They haggle, with the seller arguing the expert authenticates, but doesn't set market value. They finally meet at $475. The seller is thrilled, having bought the lot of pennants for only $25. It's a win, proving even a quirky item can turn a great profit.
My research is a little different. Online, Frank Sinatra's signature just plain is $1,200 asking price. And I'd like to negotiate with you $700. I think that would be a fair price.
A new item, a self-winding stock ticker machine from the early 1900s. The owner calls it the first paid TV, a premium information service for offices. Rick explains the complex wire network and high monthly fees. It's a heavy symbol of capitalism and early tech. The owner wants $12,000 to $14,000 but knows it's high. The item's historical cool factor is undeniable, but its condition and era greatly affect its price.
Ticker tape machine.
Okay, this was basically the first pay TV. TV. This was mass media into your house, but you had to pay for the service.
He's too young, he doesn't appreciate what you're telling him. I bought it because it was a very attractive collectible and it looked very good on my desk.
Rick points out the ticker isn't an early, valuable Edison model. He offers $2,500. The owner counters, asking for $3,500. They meet in the middle at $3,000. The seller reveals he bought it for just $30, an incredible return. He jokes about wishing the stock market were that easy. This deal highlights the pawn shop's core, finding hidden value in historical artifacts and the art of the negotiation.
I will give you $2,500 for it.
That's not enough.
Well, what's enough?
35. Can you do that?
I'm gonna go 3.
33. How's that?
I just met you in the middle.
Okay.
The episode opens with a montage of Rick heading to Los Angeles for a special auction at Julian's auction house. He's taking over 100 items from his shop's back room to sell to a worldwide audience. The risk is huge. He could make a big payday or lose my ass on all of it. The cold open sets the stage for a high-stakes episode all about gambling on the auction block.
This trip is all about making money, so what better place to do it than Hollywood?
Welcome to Beverly Hills.
I dig it.
Back in the 70s, I worked on the Sonny and Cher show.
They were so huge in the 70s.
Back in Vegas, a seller brings in mining dowsing rods from his great-grandfather, used to find gold. Rick explains they're like divining rods for metal. The seller wants $1,200 but admits he just pulled it out of the air. Rick offers $500 each, $1,000 total. The seller counters at $900, then $800. Rick's final offer is $600 for the pair. The seller refuses due to sentimental value and walks.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
What are these right here?
These are mining tools that I got from my great-grandfather.
Okay. Are those things loaded?
They are. I think they're collectible just because of the age of them.
Rick is packing rare items like a Lyndon Johnson pen and a 1917 Indian motorcycle to send to the LA auction. Corey wants to drive the stuff down, but Rick shuts him down hard, saying he won't spend more than a couple hours with him. The old man volunteers to run the shop. This family bickering is a hilarious contrast to the high-class auction world Rick is about to enter.
Okay, there's a whole list of stuff. Cage, I need it all boxed up, and I need to send to LA.
What are we sending to LA for?
I'm gonna be in LA selling a bunch of stuff in an auction. People who come into my shop every day aren't necessarily looking for a pen used by Lyndon Baines Johnson or a 1917 Indian motorcycle.
At Julian's auction house in Beverly Hills, Rick is excited. His items are on display, including a NASA helmet and his big-ticket guitar. He sees a Sonny and Cher autograph set consigned by someone else and immediately wants to buy it before the auction. He asks to meet the owner, Sam. This shows Rick's dealer instinct, spotting a flip opportunity even while trying to sell his own stuff.
We have your items back here, so I think you recognize those guys.
Yeah, I dig it.
We have just a few of the highlights out, so we got a lot of people, a lot of interest.
It's definitely a trip down memory lane. I forgot I even had that thing. I picked out a bunch of stuff that I think will do really well at an auction.
Sam, the consignor, worked on the Sonny and Cher show in the 70s. He got their autographs on sheet music for I Got You Babe and a photo during a break. He's asking $550. Rick loves the iconic piece but calls in autograph expert Steve for verification. Sam is confident, saying he was right there when they signed. The blend of showbiz history and potential profit is pure Pawn Stars.
For a while, right?
For a while, they were in the middle of all their divorce and all their trouble, though, so they weren't even speaking to each other at the time. I'm selling a framed-up autograph photo of Cher, piece of sheet music, I Got You Babe, signed by Sonny, combined with a ticket from the show.
Meanwhile, Corey and Chum are in the desert checking out an Ultra 4 race car, a hybrid rock crawler and desert racer. The owner built it himself and needs to sell it to fund a new build. He demonstrates it, and the thing is gnarly. Corey sees potential for profit and fun. This subplot contrasts Rick's glamorous auction adventure with the shop's gritty, hands-on vehicle deals.
My Ultra 4 race car.
All right, it's kind of like a hybrid between a trophy truck and a rock crawler, right?
Yep.
People have been driving rock crawlers around since the very first Jeep. There's just something about going where you're not supposed to be able to go.
Corey negotiates for the Ultra 4 car. The owner wants $50,000. Corey offers $20,000. They go back and forth, with the owner offering to remove lights and navigation. They finally settle at $27,000, including the trailer. It's a quick, serious deal for a highly specialized machine, showing Corey's growing confidence in big-ticket niche items away from his dad's shadow.
I'll do 20.
You do 42.
25, that's my limit. That's the most I can spend on it.
I think we could get there. If I pull my lights, my nav, and my comm.
Nope, I'm taking it off, 25.
Back in LA, expert Steve verifies the Sonny and Cher autographs as real, noting Cher's sloppy signature and Sonny's stacked best wishes. He appraises the framed set at about $350. Sam is disappointed, thinking it's low. Rick, based on this, offers $250. Sam counters at $475. They can't make a deal, so Sam will leave it in the auction. Rick's auction gamble isn't paying off on the buy side either.
Oh, sweet. Sonny and Cher. I grew up with these guys. But, you know, it's weird. I always remember Sonny mostly from Love Boat. I don't know why. He was on there a bunch, wasn't he? You know, Sonny and Cher, they were this great couple through the 60s, early 70s. They ended up breaking up.
Rick visits Bernie, a legendary Disney collector with an insane mouse house. Bernie shows off priceless pre-1930s merchandise, including Walt Disney's original business card. Rick is in awe. Bernie then offers him 3 rare 1930s Old King Cole store display figures, Mickey and Donald made of papier-mâché. Rick, a closet Disney freak, knows he has to have these incredibly rare pieces.
Whoa.
This is it, the mouse house. That's all from the 1930s.
This has got to be like the most impressive collection I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you. I love Mickey Mouse. I've been collecting Mickey Mouse and Disney things since about 1968.
Bernie wants $15,000 for the Donald, $12,000 for one Mickey, and $25,000 for a pair. For all 3, he asks $35,000. Rick negotiates, asking for $30,000. They meet in the middle at $32,500. Rick is absolutely giddy, calling it one of the coolest things he's ever bought. This is a massive, passion-driven purchase far from the pawn shop, showing his true collector's heart.
I need $15,000 on the Donald. If you want the pair of them, they're pointing to each other, Rick, pick a nice marquee somewhere for you. You're going to pay me $25,000 for the pair.
At the auction house, Darren shows Rick a 1930s rocket ship model used for the Flash Gordon serials, valued around $100,000. Rick is in love with it, but suspicious it's too nice. He calls in prop expert Jason. This scene highlights the constant tension in collectibles between awe and authentication, especially with ultra-rare Hollywood history that could be an incredible replica.
This is a rocket ship model that was used by the film studios for the Flash Gordon serials back in the 1930s.
Flash Gordon, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It was the cheesiest, most inexpensively shot thing you've ever seen in your life.
Prop expert Jason points out red flags, a typo in the Fox Films stamp, and the use of Universal Moving Pictures, a name changed before Flash Gordon was made. He believes it's a high-quality, modern replica made by a hobbyist. The consignor disagrees, but accepts it won't sell as real. Rick avoids a potentially catastrophic 6-figure mistake thanks to expert diligence.
Right. And that's what scares the hell out of me. They didn't spend that much money on movie props back then because they didn't have to.
Right. There's a number of things that concern me about it. On the bottom, you know, there's 2 stamps. This says Fox Films Corporation with an S, and it's actually Fox Film Corporation. So it's like a typo on the logo, which is sort of a red flag.
Rick tries to buy a 1905 Lighthouse foghorn from a seller at the auction. The seller wants $19,000. Rick says realistically it's worth $8,000 to $9,000 and offers $5,200. The seller refuses, deciding to risk the auction. This quick interaction shows the auction environment creating parallel negotiations, with Rick trying to snipe deals off the floor, just like customers do in his shop.
Realistically, I think this thing would go for like $8 or $9 grand, the right person.
You do $12,500?
I was thinking more like $5,200.
No, I'm gonna have to pass on that. I'll probably take a shot in the auction, you know.
All right, man, it is cool.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, have fun getting back in the car.
The auction results are brutal for Rick's big items. A first edition, A Christmas Carol he hoped would bring $20,000 sells for $7,500. The Vic Flick-owned Fender Stratocaster goes for $22,500, below expectations. Rick confesses he's getting killed and could lose $100,000. The high-stakes gamble has backfired spectacularly, proving even experts can misread a market. The silver lining is nowhere to be found.
Lot number 614. The Christmas Carol First Edition. It's one of the finest things I've ever seen at auction in a long time.
Yep.
7 I got. 7,500. 7,500. One of the greatest novels ever written. 7,500.
Back at the shop, Chum reveals he held his own auction of old stock and sold items at cost. Rick surprisingly likes the initiative. Corey asks how the LA auction went. Rick admits they got brutalized, losing about $100,000. The episode ends on this ironic twist. Rick's big auction lost a fortune, while Chum's silly, impromptu sale was at least a wash. Lesson painfully learned.
I like the idea. This shows initiative. Why didn't you think of this?
Why didn't you think of this? Because I don't like to sell stuff at cost.
We might do this again.
How'd the auction go for us in LA?
I don't know what happened. Not a lot of people showed up, and we got really brutalized on a lot of items.
The cold open is pure chaos. Corey totaled a 3-month-old company truck by hitting a tree at 50 miles per hour. He's shockingly unscathed and casual about it. Rick is furious, pointing out the tree didn't jump out. The solution? Corey must drive the other company truck, the one with Rick's giant face plastered on it. Corey's disgust and Rick's smugness over this hilarious petty punishment sets the Family Feud tone perfectly for the episode.
Yeah, dude. Hit a tree doing 50 miles an hour, not a scratch on me.
What happened?
I got in a car accident with a company truck.
So the truck's totaled?
Absolutely. I wanted to get a different truck anyway.
I'm not buying you another truck.
Dude, it wasn't my fault.
The truck is 3 months old.
A customer brings in a holy grail, a 1923 Babe Ruth baseball card graded PSA 10. God, the image sucks. The customer explains it's a rare strip card, given as a candy store premium. The juxtaposition of its immense rarity and its admittedly ugly artwork creates an instant classic Pawn Stars dilemma: incredible condition versus questionable aesthetic appeal.
How's it going?
Hey, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
Got a Babe Ruth baseball card for your consideration.
Damn, this thing's graded at 10?
Yeah, it's actually one of about a half dozen cards that exist from his playing days in a PSA 10 condition. So it's very rare.
Corey gives a mini history lesson, linking Babe Ruth's rise to the popularity of radio-saving baseball after the 1919 Black Sox scandal. The customer says Ruth drawing over 1 million fans in 1920 made him a legend. This context builds the card's historical weight. Then the ask drops: $60,000. Corey's stunned reaction says it all. The massive number forces him to call an expert, launching the main drama.
And in 1923, Babe Ruth was already big, so I can see why this one was saved.
Yeah.
After the Black Sox scandal, Major League Baseball was really afraid that no fans were going to show up. But when Babe Ruth joined the Yankees in 1920, the fans couldn't help but come to the stadium.
A picker brings in a rusty old tricycle found in an 87-year-old woman's barn. He believes it's a rare Sky King model. Rick identifies it as a junior toy company piece, a luxury item for its time. But it's a major project. The seller wants $800. Rick's hesitation is clear. Collectors want restored items, not fixer-uppers. He calls in restoration expert Bob, hoping the cost to fix it will make sense.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. This is cool.
I thought you might like it.
I definitely dig it. Where did you get this thing?
I found it hanging in a barn. He was 87. She said she had it when she was a little girl.
Expert Bob drops a bombshell. It's not a Sky King, but an even better American national tricycle. Sky Kings were reproduced, hurting value, but this is the real, rarer deal. He explains many were scrapped for World War II metal, making this a survivor. The appraisal instantly becomes more promising. This twist is why experts are crucial. They separate treasure from trivia, saving Rick from underestimating a fantastic piece of Americana.
By Junior Toy, but the Sky King has a tapered piece in the front and a headlamp. Okay, this was for a Hornet one. And actually, it's better than the Junior Toy because they repopped the Sky King and it destroyed him.
Bob estimates the restoration cost at $800 to $900. Once fixed, it could sell for $1,900 to $2,000. Now Rick has the numbers to negotiate. He offers $400. The seller counters at $600, then $500. Rick accepts at $500. For a $500 buy plus $850 restoration, a potential $2,000 sale makes business sense. The seller is happy it will find a good home. It's a solid, calculated gamble on vintage toy nostalgia.
Talking the area of $800 to $900. That's with everything complete.
All right. So what do these things go for when they're fixed up?
Oh, when they're fixed up nice and right to the original, you're talking $1,900 over $2,000.
Rick continues to mock Corey about the truck with his face on it, suggesting Corey shave his head to look like the portrait. Corey calls the truck a piece of art, a Picasso. Rick retorts, "I'm thinking more Rembrandt-ish." This silly, ongoing bit of father-son ribbing provides perfect comedic relief between the high-stakes appraisals, reminding us the core of the show is their dysfunctional but loving family dynamic.
Shaved your head, you could just tell people that's you on the truck.
Jeremy, what's up, man?
Rick, what's going on?
A guy came in with a 1923 Babe Ruth baseball card, rated a 10. perfect. I'm amazed to see a baseball card like this in this good of condition.
Expert Jeremy arrives for the Babe Ruth card. He confirms it's the creme de la creme, but also the ugliest baseball card he's ever seen. He details its history as a 1923 strip card, meant to be cut with scissors, making a PSA 10 miraculous. The history is incredible, but the market reality is harsh. The suspense builds as he prepares to deliver the value verdict that will make or break the deal.
Pitching stars like Babe Ruth, we had seasoned veterans like Ty Cobb. Kids and collectors really didn't have any long-term outlook on how to care for these cards. So the fact that this one's graded a perfect PSA 10, that's practically unheard of.
Jeremy's appraisal is a gut punch, $12,000 to $15,000. He explains earlier Ruth cards in terrible condition sell for more, but this series isn't valued the same. The $60,000 dream is shattered. The customer is visibly disappointed, thinking Jeremy's estimate is low. This moment epitomizes the pawn shop experience. Expert knowledge colliding with personal valuation, often leaving sellers facing a much colder, harder financial reality than they expected.
Well, just to put things into perspective, Babe Ruth, no doubt about it, the most highly touted player in the history of the game. His earliest card from 1914 in terrible condition, albeit much more scarce, sold for almost $500,000.
Rick offers $8,000 based on Jeremy's appraisal. The seller's bottom dollar is $40,000. Rick says obviously no deal. The seller thanks him and leaves, planning to hold the card for his grandkids. He remains confident in its higher value. This is a classic no sale where sentiment and market perception are worlds apart. The shop avoids a huge risk and the seller keeps his prized heirloom. A bittersweet but honest conclusion.
I'm thinking I'd give you $8,000 for it. Jeremy does this for a living. The way I look at it, if he says that's what it's worth, that's probably what it's worth.
I'm not going to be able to come down that far. Probably the lowest, my bottom dollar price would be like $40,000.
Bob reveals the fully restored American National Tricycle, and Rick is speechless. It's absolutely beautiful, like art. Bob details the metalwork, remaking missing emblems and axle caps, and redoing the leather seat. Rick confirms the $850 restoration cost. With a $500 purchase price, he's into it for $1,350, aiming to sell for nearly $2,000. The transformation is stunning, proving the value of expert restoration on hidden gem projects.
So, was there a lot of metal work you had to do, or?
There was a lot of metal work. The big problems were we were missing the emblems. We were missing the axle caps in the back, so I had to make those. Got the neck piece re-chromed, the seat springs re-chromed, redid the seat with a little cream piping.
A customer shows Corey an invitation and ID badge for JFK's luncheon on November 22nd, 1963, the day he was assassinated. Corey is awed, noting the location switch that changed the motorcade route, fueling conspiracy theories. The seller likes history but is tired of visitors wanting to talk assassination for hours. This is dark, significant memorabilia, a tangible piece of a national tragedy that forever changed the country.
I have the invitation to John F. Kennedy's luncheon the day he died.
Okay, and this is
That's the actual ID badge that you would wear inside
the airport reception when people were greeting him. Okay.
The JFK negotiation is tough. The items aren't addressed to anyone, lowering value. The seller wants $800. Corey offers $100, citing the need to build a display around it. They haggle. The seller counters $600, then $300. Corey threatens to drop to $125, and they settle at $150. The seller wishes he'd seen Rick, a presidential buff, for more money. It's a quick, sharp deal on a morbidly fascinating historical piece.
Figure or somebody, celebrity or something like that. We could talk about this stuff all day, but tell me what you're looking to do with it, man.
I want to sell it.
Okay, what are you looking to get out of it?
Both of these things together, somewhere around $100.
The episode ends with a classic prank. Corey and the guys attach a just married sign and cans to the back of Rick's portrait truck as he drives off, unaware. They joke it might be on there for days. This final goofy moment bookends the episode that started with the truck drama full circle. It's a lighthearted reminder that beneath the high-dollar deals, this is a family that loves to mess with each other.
You guys just hanging out?
Waiting for someone to come pick us up. Going downtown.
Okay. See you tomorrow, guys.
Later.
Watch this.
Rick opens with the classic Pawn Stars intro, but the real start is a wild conversation about weird food. The old man and Chum debate eating horse and sea urchin. Chum says uni tastes like salty Play-Doh, and Rick's deadpan, "You know what Play-Doh tastes like?" is perfect. This absurd pre-credits chat sets a hilarious tone. It's so random and perfectly shows the shop's chaotic family vibe before any business even begins.
I'd like to see about selling a collection of World War II to Vietnam era booby traps I have.
Whoa!
You don't usually get them in this kind of condition. Usually
all blown up and stuff.
10 booby traps.
A customer walks in with a collection of deactivated World War II and Vietnam booby traps. Rick is immediately cautious, asking if they're safe. The customer assures him they're inert. This is insane. Who just carries a bag of historic tripwires and grenade triggers into a pawn shop? Rick explains their defensive use, but the visual of these sinister devices on the counter is jarring. It's a dark piece of history presented as collectible.
You sure there's nothing in that?
I've done research. Most of them say inert or demo on them, so I know that they're not an active unit.
All right, good. Glad to know we're safe. Old black powder, all you had to do is literally, like in the movies, light a fuse.
The negotiation for the booby traps is tense. The seller wants $650 based on internet prices. Rick lowballs at $200, citing a very niche market. The seller counters, pointing out rarer pieces. They finally meet at $260. Rick's final thought is hopeful. Find the right collector, and they'll sell. It's a gamble on grim militaria, highlighting the shop's role as a clearinghouse for the most bizarre and specialized historical items.
Booby traps are some of the most sinister weapons on the battlefield, but since they're part of military history, people collect them. How much did you want for them?
Based on doing some internet research, I was looking at about $650 for all of them.
I'm just starting to think if they would sell or not.
Well, military collectors.
I mean, there's military collectors who want this stuff, but they're few and far between. I mean, I'll give you like $200 for them.
Yeah, I gotta do a little bit more than that on them.
A woman brings in what she claims are Bucky Dent's cleats from the famous 1978 Yankees-Red Sox tiebreaker home run. Corey is instantly excited, calling it one of the most famous games of all time. She wants $3,000. The cleats even have Fenway dirt. The potential here is massive, but the lack of solid paperwork casts a shadow. The excitement is palpable, but so is the need for proof.
Well, I have Bucky Dent's cleats from the famous 1978 tiebreaker game between the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Hell yeah.
Bucky Dent.
Aha, yes, that's the one.
I'm definitely interested.
In that 1978 game, the Red Sox thought they had it won, and here comes Bucky Dent, and he hit.
Corey voices his concerns about the Bucky Dent cleats. The note with them says, "Good luck in my home run shoes," but isn't fully signed. He wisely calls in an expert. The seller is confident, but nervous. Meanwhile, Chum has broken the old man's coffee maker. This parallel plot of high-stakes authentication and low-stakes workplace comedy is the show's secret sauce. The tension for the shoes is now officially building.
How'd you get these?
Well, my husband's uncle was able to obtain these cleats from the charity auction that year, and part of the auction item is the picture. He wrote, "Good luck in my home run shoes."
A new customer shows off two gnarly rotating barrel percussion cap rifles from the 1800s. Rick calls them badass. The customer says they're a real man's task to shoot. Rick dates them earlier, around 1850, and explains the dangerous evolution of multi-barrel guns. The craftsmanship is cool, but Rick spots a replaced stock and modern screws. The mix of awe and immediate skepticism is a classic Pawn Stars appraisal roller coaster.
These guns are seriously badass. They are absolutely unique. I've never shot these. I'm not strong enough. Trying to hold it up to aim, I think, would be a real man's task.
The rifle negotiation hits a snag. The owner wants $2,000 each. Rick doesn't know enough and calls an expert. The owner hopes for a good valuation. Otherwise, I may have to beat on him some. A joking but tense threat in a hilarious B-plot made from beans digested by a cat-like animal. The old man loves it, unaware of its bizarre origin. The contrast is comedy gold.
Or it was in your jaw. Yeah.
Yeah, one or the other.
Hunting in the early 1800s was tough. If you took a shot and missed, your dinner would be long gone before you reloaded. This rotating barrel was a huge advantage.
Expert Craig arrives for the rifles. He instantly deflates the mood, rating them poor plus. He explains the small arms race was about shooting faster and further. The owner points out possible maker William Hart's inlays. Craig checks the timeline, suggesting parts are old, but the assembly is much newer, possibly mid-1900s. The dream of priceless antiques is crumbling into the reality reality of a modern parts gun.
A guy brought in some rotating barrel rifles from the 1800s. They're cool, but it looks like someone worked on them. So I'm gonna call in Craig to take a look.
Oh my goodness gracious, it's you again. The condition of the gun is what I would say is maybe poor plus.
It is me
Well,
again.
it's a pleasure seeing you.
The expert reveals the brutal truth. These swivel barrel rifles are 20th century assemblies from old parts, made to be shot, not collected, valued at $750 tops each. The customer gets salty, asking if that's Craig's crybaby whiny-ass opinion. Craig calmly confirms it is. The clash between an owner's perceived treasure and an expert's harsh reality is the core drama of the show, and it's delivered perfectly here.
Well, then this piece that says William Hart on it, would these have been recycled from the 1830s?
Possibly. Some of the parts may be from the 1800s, but unfortunately, these swivel barrel rifles were made from bits and pieces.
Expert Jeremy examines the Bucky Dent cleats. He paints an epic picture of the 1978 game and the curse of the Bambino. He says if they're the shoes, they're worth $20,000 to $25,000. But there's a huge if. The signature on the photo is partially printed. The shoes are authentic Adidas size 8.5 MVP models Dent wore. But without proof, they're the home run shoes. The value plummets to $300 to $400. The emotional whiplash is severe.
I have no idea, so I called Jeremy in to take a look.
What I love about these shoes is they just scream the curse of the Bambino. When the Yankees started the season, they were quickly falling out of contention. Even at one point, they were like 14 games behind Boston. And by the end of the year, they actually tied Boston and forced the one-game playoff.
The deal collapses. The seller is disappointed, believing the proof is there. Corey offers $300, betting he could do the authentication legwork himself. She counters at $4,000. Corey stands firm at $400. She walks. This is a classic Pawn Stars stalemate where sentiment and perceived value clash with retail reality. She leaves convinced of her treasure, while Corey avoids a very risky, high-stakes gamble. Sometimes the best deal is the one you don't make.
I respect your opinion.
I appreciate you coming down, man. Thank you.
See you later.
I have to admit, I'm disappointed in what he said because I feel like you guys could get these authenticated and make that $25,000.
In a fantastic epilogue, Rick and expert Craig take the rotating barrel rifles out to shoot. They have a contest against milk jugs. Craig uses a single-shot rifle. Rick uses the double barrel. The premise is hilarious, testing antique weapon logic in the desert. Rick fumbles with the caps and Craig wins, though he knocks over his own supplies. It's a fun, visceral payoff to the earlier appraisal, proving the guns work as fun shooters.
I recently bought 2 rifles. They got rotating barrels on them. Craig wanted to shoot them, so I said, come on out, see who's a better shot, which is me.
I'm pretty confident that I'm going to win because I'm a fairly good shot. Rick is going to need 2 barrels. I'm only going to need 1.
The shooting contest concludes with Craig's victory. Rick tries to argue about shot count, but Craig hit the milk first. Rick's final excuse? I'm a lot taller than him. The scene ends with them wanting to shoot more. This playful rivalry highlights the genuine passion behind the collectibles. It's not just about money, but about the history and function of these incredible items. A perfect, lighthearted ending to a packed episode.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready, let's go.
Question, if we both hit the milk?
If we both hit the milk, Chum loses.
Oh no.
Ready, set, go!
Go!